Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Three Nerds on a Sunday, where three nerdy friends talk about all things nerd, geek, and pop culture related. I am one third of the nerd, Sonny, and the other nerd that is joining me today is Frank.
Hello.
Hey,
You sounded like that
Manny.
owl that
Uh,
licks the lollipop.
um, what did I say? Oh, um,
All right.
say something again.
Say something again.
Okay, perfect. We're good. Uh, you stopped for like 1 second there, so I I heard a lollipop. That's all.
Okay.
So Manny may or may not be joining us. He's in the middle of something. If he can break free for a minute, he'll join the conversation. If not, it's just going to be our two non-existent faces on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. So
Yes.
with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into nitty gritty.
Okay.
I got technically two pieces of news, and that's really about it. I don't really look at the news like I used to. I probably should start
Yeah,
doing
me
that
too.
again, but um, both are related to the new Fast and Furious movie. So the first one is Justin Lin, who has directed 5 of the Fast films in the pantheon of their films. Has walked off the project for Fast and Furious 10.
Dun,
Reportedly,
dun, dun.
reportedly, he and this isn't the first time that he's been butting heads with Vin Diesel, and then he's butting heads with the studio heads because you got on one hand you got Diesel walking in going, "Hey, I don't feel like doing this type of stunt. We're going to change it completely to a whole nother type of fight scene," or "Hey, the whole thing we just shot, and I don't like it. We're going to do something else."
Jesus.
And is it and the Universal's breathing down his neck, say, "Hey, we got a lot of money invested. We want to have our say in this too." Going back and forth. And I guess Lynn went to Universal headquarters, and I think it was him, the heads of Universal, and maybe Vin Diesel. I'm not sure about him. They had a really heated argument, and he said somewhere along the lines of, "My mental health is not worth all this," and just
Yeah.
walked out of the project and said, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Reportedly, he's walking away from anywhere from $10 to $20 million to do the project,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a lot of money. For most of us, that's life-changing money, and
Yep.
it's for him that's not even worth it anymore, and
No.
it's gonna be really bad because that's uh that's you and your kids are set for life type of money. So if he's walking
Yeah.
away, it's really bad. I think it's
Yeah,
not
but
great.
the context is different. I mean, we don't have jobs like that. If we did,
Cor-
he's gonna keep directing. He's not gonna. It's not like this is the end of his career or something. Like
sure,
if
but
this was his first movie, I bet you it would be worth that mental health. But at this point, he's like, you know what, this is not worth this BS. And it's like that's now he's stuck in the middle, man. He's got to deal with these clowns in the suits, and then he's got to deal with this guy
hmm,
who doesn't want to do anything that he worked on. So it's like I
yeah.
could see why he would leave.
And I mean, you're right. He's made plenty of money off of the fast stuff, but also, and Hollywood is fickle. It just takes one bad movie or one bad thing
Yeah,
to basically say, "Well, you can work on this
one bad
independent
tweet.
film for like $1,000, and that's it." you know. So
Yeah,
every
one
big
bad
paycheck you
tweet,
get,
one
you got to take
whatever.
and keep it.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that means a lot because I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money, and he's been with the franchise. Like I said, he's done at least 5 of the films out of 9 of them. Um,
Mm.
so he's obviously been very invested in this, and I think at this point it was just over. And then going into the second piece of news, which ties into Fast 10 as well. Reportedly, the current budget is either at or just about to go over $300 million.
Yeah.
And then someone broke it down for me. I think it was Screen Rant. Essentially, 100 million is just to pay for the cast.
Holy crap! I wonder how much is Diesel.
Well, Diesel's interesting because he gets not only does he get paid from to do it, he actually he gets like I think like five. Again, I forgot where I read this. Like anywhere from like 5 to 15% of all the earnings from the film,
Mhm.
and some of these films earn billions of dollars, if not
Yeah.
collectively, much money. So he's rolling in it, and
Probably him
then
just be like, dude, I'll do whatever stunt you want, Justin Lin. Just tell me what to do.
yeah,
I'll
and
go stand here or pretend like I'm driving a car for 3 hours. Sure.
oh yeah,
Give a
no
shit.
problem. He's like this is all CGI now. Hell yeah, I'll do it.
Yep.
And and then also an issue with that is that as these movies go on, the actors get paid more for every time there's a new movie made because it's one of those like scale pay things.
That's
So
crazy.
the longer something, so that's why a lot of TV shows. I learned this from the John Campea show that like if a show goes past 7 seasons, usually a lot of shows don't go past seven because at that point it costs too much to actually pay everyone.
Oh, that's tough.
So it's like so unless you're like Friends who makes
Yeah.
billions of hundreds of millions of dollars for merchandising and syndication,
Wonder how
uh,
Supernatural worked then, because that piece of shit wouldn't die.
a lot of merchandise, and also I think that the crew kind of knew they couldn't go crazy,
Yeah.
and it always felt like a passion project to them because they got to direct episodes and then they had a steady paycheck for 13 years.
He was evolved, and that's pretty, yeah, hard. I mean, that's almost impossible to happen. That's pretty crazy. But then,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, they're getting free experience basically. So now they can say I directed 10 seasons of a show, or I directed 7 seasons of a show, something
yeah,
like that, or whatever.
yeah.
Uh,
So it's smart. So and so that accounts for 1 million. The other 100 million reportedly is due to again Vin Diesel coming in going, I want to change this stunt completely. Let's do something completely different. And all this money is going for reshoots and new stunts and paying for all this stuff.
wow.
And then after Justin Lin left the movie, the film. I don't know if it's been if they hired someone else yet, but every day that they don't get a director, it's $1 million that they lose because they have to pay for everyone to stay on standby.
Oh, okay.
And so they can't go home or work on other projects.
For hotels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're literally being paid to stay on set until they can find someone to come in and direct the film.
Thought they found someone already.
Maybe I that I haven't looked at most recently, but
Somebody.
even if it took 4 or 5 days, that's $5 million wasted for no reason.
Five
you know,
million. Nothing for them though.
N- uh, I mean at 300 million, and they're not even done yet.
What if they make a
and
billion? Are they really going to be that upset?
they still
I
have to
mean,
make an 11. Oh, they're making so many of these. Um,
11?
yeah,
Oh my fucking god.
and here's the thing. You're right. It could make a lot of money, but number nine was so hated. I rarely find anyone that actually likes it. That
Yeah.
what could happen is that nine Fast Nine made $1 billion. We'll assume the next one will make it, but they're not putting an account for that people hated the movie, so they can actually lose money now. Again, can it? That is very possible. It happens all the time with movies that are bad, but they get sequels and then they crash because they assume that the first one made so much money that people will come out again. Like I guess most recently the Ninja Turtles films. I'm not a fan of them. Those new ones, newer-ish ones. The
Which one?
first,
Oh,
the
the Michael Bay one?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are really not that good.
Yeah, it's like the first one made so much money, but it was hated by a lot of people.
Oh yeah, man.
So they assumed, oh, people will go see the second one, and the second one bombed because it's that false sense of like success. That we made $800 million, and we can do it again, and they're not bothering looking at the fact that all the fans and even the general movie goers were like, that's not really good. I don't want to see more, so they just
Yeah.
give you more, and it crashes.
Yeah, I hear you.
So again and then and like I said well another pandemic, another war, anything could happen that can affect this film. Like maybe they make China mad and go, oh, we're not going to play a movie here now that they lose out like on
Yeah.
$500 million. So a lot of
Why
things
were
could
they
happen.
letting Diesel like go crazy and decide that he wants
Well, he's
to
a
do a bunch
producer
of crap?
now. and he has a lot of pull. Like I
Yeah.
think after 5, maybe 4 or 5, he started to invest his own money, and now he has a lot of say in it because it's so successful.
Yeah.
So
And that guy hit a gold mine doing that first movie. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, and it's funny because like he wouldn't, we would never had him back if he didn't want the Riddick rights.
Mm,
Because if you remember in Tokyo Drift, he did that cameo
right.
for the rights to that character.
So he has them,
Yeah, so he owns
but
Riddick.
he's never done anything anymore with that.
Well, because the third film did fine, but I don't think it was good enough to like make another one for most studios
Oh,
because then he has to go out and ship it. Maybe after this movie he'll have enough money to make 5, but um, we'll see what happens.
yeah.
We'll see what happens with this movie. This franchise as a whole, I, I'll probably be the first one, but one of the very few people to say that I do love one through 8. They all have something special about them. 9 can go jump in a river, but overall, I've enjoyed the franchise a lot, and unfortunately, a lot of drama has kind of caused it to be where we are now. So,
Yeah.
so I
I
guess it's
checked
only,
out like 4 movies ago,
and
maybe
then
5.
yeah, which is fair. For 5 is my favorite, and I think is the best.
Yeah. After that one, I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know.
Oh no,
There was
I
cool
get it.
stuff about it. It just wasn't what I was. It just changed so much that I just didn't really want to do it anymore.
No, I get it. I mean, I'm not like most people. Like I've seen 13 seasons of Supernatural, at least 20 episodes, 22 episodes per season.
Yeah, that's a
So
lot.
I
But
I have no problem in investing in something that I enjoy.
I
So
quit after season 5 on that one. I
yeah,
felt like the
which
story
is
ended
funny.
at that point. I was like, this is like the end of the story. I don't know why we're continuing.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I
um,
just kind of ran out of time because there's so much damn content. It's 22 freaking episodes.
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, and then it was too hard to go back at that point. By the time I wanted to,
sure.
it was like, wow, I'm behind by 20 times 5. So I'm behind 100 episodes at this point, and it's only growing.
Yeah, it's insane.
But yeah, maybe one day when I'm in the retirement home, that old show, Supernatural, with that guy. I don't know. He did the voice of Batman once. That guy. I never did finish that show.
I guess it's time to do it now.
Got nothing but that. Let me watch Supernatural. The last 7 seasons that I didn't watch.
Hey, daughters, bring me my whiskey, and I shall watch Supernatural.
Son, sit your ass down. We're gonna watch Supernatural.
If I had to suffer, you had to suffer.
Yeah, you
Oh.
just get over here and bring him that whiskey.
Oh shit! You are gonna be a crazy old man, aren't you?
I think I am. I already am.
Oh shit! So that's the fast saga news.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah, I
X
heard
Fast
like
X.
very little about it, but I'm glad you kind of gave me some more info there because I wasn't sure why he left and all that stuff. So
Right.
it's kind of interesting. But
Yeah, it's crazy. So
are they anywhere near done? Has anyone said that? Like, are they pretty close? And it's just because of the damn reshoots or something, or
I haven't heard too much news about it. I think it was only this year, if not the end of last year, that Vin Diesel posted like, "Oh, we're officially filming Fast X or Fast 10 or
yeah.
Fast Roman numeral 10 or whatever, some weird name, Space Fast. Who knows?
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, they could be halfway done. They could be done. They could just be like reshooting half the film. Who knows? Um, I haven't heard anything about that on that end. So, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so we'll go ahead and hit the brakes on that one and go to our next car. I mean, our next segment here.
Okay.
Um, you said you had no news, right?
No, no news.
Perfect. So we'll move on to our nerd outs for all you listening at home. We'll do our nerd outs. I don't think it'll take that long, and then today will be could be a short episode if you haven't watched the last episode of Moon Knight and or seen Doctor Strange. We
Yep.
will talk about Moon Knight first, since people had more opportunities to watch it, since you can watch it at home first, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about Strange last. And just
Good
again, we'll
plan.
give you a heads up now. So we're gonna get into our nerd outs. Frank, why don't you go ahead and grace us with your first offerings?
Wow, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
I only have two, and they're both TV shows.
Okay.
I'm trying to focus on two shows. I'm watching Severance on Apple TV.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe I'm on episode 4, and it's getting interesting. I mean, a lot of things are being revealed as far as like the company and what is happening there, and then outside the company, there's interesting stuff starting to happen there. I'm gonna keep it vague because it is a good show and it's worth like just experiencing it without me telling you what's happening. But it does take a while, so just be patient. I think it's worth it. Not sure where it's going or how it's gonna end, or if it'll
Sure.
be worth it in the end. But for so far, I am enjoying the mystery of it, and there's definitely some creepy parts to it. They're not trying to be like horror about it, but there's definitely a lot of creepy, unnerving stuff happening. And there's a little bit of, I can't even say that. It's not body horror, but there is a scene that's like, wow, okay. I just felt that one, man. I felt that one.
Yeah.
Good show so far. So I'm gonna keep up. I'll let you guys know when I'm finished, and then I'll talk about it again, but I won't spoil anything.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I'm watching Halo. I think maybe a month ago or something, I mentioned that I watched the free episode of Halo, and now I have a free trial of Paramount, so I have been watching more episodes.
Yeah.
I think I'm on like episode 4. I've been hearing so much hate for this show. Like really just like nonstop hate. And I don't know if it's the video game crowd that's just being jerks or what it is. I don't think it's a bad show so far. It's definitely, I would say, lacking action.
Okay.
Like there's a big action scene in the first episode, and it looks pretty decent. It looks pretty good. There's some of it that just it doesn't cross that next level of greatness, I guess.
Hmm.
But it's a little more gruesome than I thought, and it's good for TV, I guess you could say. So I thought it was fine, and a lot of the visuals are pretty good actually. Like there were some moments in space and stuff where I was liking it a lot, and I actually kind of like the plot so far. I just have to say though that there's just not enough action, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, for a show like Halo, I think I had to just pepper in some more action. I mean, it doesn't have to be nonstop mindless, but
Right.
you know, they've gone like 3 episodes without any action, I would say. So it's kind of long. I mean, that's a long time. So,
Oh yeah. 100%.
uh, there's that one action, and then we spend 3 episodes talking. It's kind of like, it's a little much. But I mean, it's not bad so far. I think there's free trials out there. Give it a shot. I think you might like it if you like Halo. It kind of reminds me of one of the books I read a long time, very long time ago. But I used to like reading those, like the lore and stuff, and it was more about the Spartan program and stuff. This gives you some of that as far as like the doctor who created the program and everything. He's doing stuff, and then Master Chief is doing his own thing. And there's some interesting stuff as far as other Spartans and how it's just kind of interesting as far as they're not all the same, and there's a lot of like blunders and stuff at this point in the military.
Mhm.
As far as like they finally have something that can help them against the Covenant because they're just too powerful for regular soldiers. And so you're getting some of that, like they're experimenting and it's and the way that Spartans feed each other and things like that. So I thought it was kind of interesting so far. Um, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I'm not that far into it. It's entertaining, but it's like I can't really sit there and binge it because I think it's like I was saying, it's too much talking. So it's like you'll be sitting there for 3 episodes just listening to talking,
Yeah.
which is fine. But if you do it all at once, maybe too much. But I think I don't know. I mean, I hope more action comes in the other episodes. But
Yeah,
I'll let you guys know. But I'm not really sure yet.
please do. I enjoyed the Halo franchise up until 3.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped playing after that because I thought 3 was just the pinnacle of awesomeness,
Hmm.
and I never really had a need to go ahead and do it. And I think that this series is, oh, I don't know, what do you say, 5, 10 years too late?
Yeah, man. I mean, remember when Blomkamp was working on or no, maybe not Blomkamp, but Weta Studio was working on the Warthog, and they showed it and everything. At that point, that was the height of the, hype. But I think, I mean, it's too late. But at the same time, if it's good, there's enough Halo fans out there, and also the new game actually has gotten a lot of positive praise. So it's kind of like too late, but not too late at the same time.
Yeah, that's a shame. Um,
Yeah.
I mean,
Though I think it's pretty good. But people are really hammering on it. But I don't know what that is, if it's just internet tricks or what.
yeah, it's hard to say because
Yeah.
people like to make everything political nowadays, for better or for worse. I think some
Yeah.
of it is legitimate, most of it is not, or they're trying to stretch things. But a part of that, from what I hear, and then also I think just that it's not Halo to them,
Hmm.
because Halo, I mean, like the newest game is fun from what I heard and see, and so
It's
like
pretty
then
good.
it still has this dedicated fan base. And I think that they still stream Halo at the video game. I forget what it's called.
Hmm.
Competition stuff. So it's very popular,
Yeah.
very very accessible to those who are hardcore gamers. Maybe not casuals too often, but it kind of fall into like that Dark Souls kind of realm of like these guys spend hours and hours a day
Yeah.
to hone, like, to get those perfect kills and perfect shots and all that kind of stuff. It's it's become very hardcore game based.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but
A little bit of a
hopefully it
prequel.
turns
I mean,
around.
I could see why people are like, it's not Halo. I mean, it is Halo. It's just not what you. It's so hard to translate to. Like, you have such an attachment to these games, and it's already kind of a movie, so you kind of need the movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and again, it's weird. Like, again, Bungie's terrible at lore because the lore for Halo is amazing. The
they're bad at storytelling, but they're good at lore.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, they're bad at storytelling, but the lore is amazing.
Yeah.
The stuff with the flood is great,
Yeah.
fantastic. Like, I think if you took that, I think that's what people wanted more of. I guess again, I haven't seen Halo, so I can't really attest to
Yeah.
anything. But I think that the diehards are like, "Yo, you have all this story and this great stuff, and you're just doing weird shit or making up your own stories or whatever."
Hmm.
And it's like, on one hand, I get it because you have so much to pull from, but
Yeah.
also it's not necessarily a bad thing to try something different. It might not work, but if you have the balls to do it, I want to see what you can do with it. So
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not that far, so we'll see. But
yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
yeah, I
we talking
remember
shit.
like Halo 2. I remember loving the hell out of that game, but not for the story. Like, I felt like I couldn't even understand what the hell the story was about.
Right.
It was fucking stupid. Like, it was
Yeah,
really
it's
bad. I was like, this is fucking stupid. And I'm like, this lore is so great. That's why I was telling you I was reading the books and stuff. So like, this is good stuff. There's good
Mhm.
things here, but Bungie
Yeah,
just can't tell a story.
fucking Bungie. Destiny, another great example. That lore is amazing.
Oh, it's freaking
Story
incredible.
is trash.
The story is just so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, all the cutscenes are just nonsense, and it's just really stupid.
Yep.
But
So,
anyway,
anywho's,
yeah.
but we will
I'm
leave that
finished.
for another day. You'll finish, you say?
I so finished.
Oh my god. Okay, so we shall move on to my nerd house then, I suppose. Um, what do I have today? Oh, yes. No, I forgot. Shit. Oh no. Okay. Okay. I think I remember. So, there's this YouTube channel that I found.
Okay.
His name is. I'm gonna butcher it. Oh, Okeo Kino. I will spell it out for you if you are interested. First name of the YouTube channel is OKOLO. Second part is KINO. So I'm gonna call him Kino.
Hmm.
This gentleman makes documentaries style videos about directors and movies, and he has a three-part series on Quentin Tarantino from his early life all the way up to him making Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And you
Hmm.
learn a lot from this documentary, and it's cool because the way he edits it, the clips he chooses, and the music and stuff like that, it feels like he is something that belongs in the Tarantino world. Um,
Yeah.
it's very cool. I like it the way it's paced. The way he speaks. He speaks like an old radio host, kind of like, and kind of like takes you through this journey. And he has his friends do like voices of the actors or Tarantino. So like, if you're reading a statement that he talks about this scene in the movie, it's him or a friend like trying to impersonate Tarantino.
Hmm.
And it actually kind of sounds like him a little bit. It's like, okay, this is cool. Like you're bringing something different to the table, and
Yeah.
they're not like 10 minutes long. Like they're each at least an hour long, which gives you time
Jesus.
to cram a lot of information. Like I didn't know that the music in Hateful Eight, um, the composer, he actually the film was in such fast production he didn't have time to complete all the music, so he actually used unused music from the thing and put
Hmm.
it in the Hateful Eight,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
it's very cool. And there's a lot of those little tidbits in
Yeah.
there. Like you're like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Holy shit. It's just really
Okay, so
cool.
tell me the name again of this channel.
Uh,
Oh,
Okilo Kino. I will send you the link to one of those videos, to the first one. And he doesn't have many videos, but it's because it takes a long time to make these. He has one
yeah.
about like grindhouse stuff. He has one about Christopher Nolan. He has two about Christopher Nolan. Talks about Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
a little bit of Angelina Jolie, Guy Ritchie, Scorsese. So, you know, the guy I think does really good work. So check him out if you're
Cool.
interested in those style like documentary cool styles.
Yeah.
Definitely check those out because and like I said, as big a fan as I am of Tarantino, I just there's still stuff that I learned from here. I'm like, wow, did not know that. It's very cool. So,
Yeah.
moving
Sounds
on.
good.
Moving on from that, I watched this documentary, and I was kind of hoping Manny was here, but that's okay. Maybe next time. The I it's on Disney. I forgot the name of it, but it's about the 1997 baseball season.
Hmm.
And the reason I believe it's 97, 96 or 97. The reason why that's significant is because that is when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire were
Hmm.
chasing the all-time home run hits in one season.
Right.
And to expand on that more, why that was so significant is because back in '94, baseball was on strike. Basically, the owners and the players couldn't come to a decision. I think the first time in baseball history,
Hmm.
the season was canceled and there was no baseball at all. Like because of the strike, and a
Right.
lot of and that really left a bad taste with a lot of the fans because the the fans saw it as millionaires arguing about millions and millions of dollars.
Right. Right.
So they were very angry, very hostile, and the attendance for baseball dropped. The
Hmm.
TV ratings dropped. It was kind of really it hurt baseball to a point where like, is this going to be around for another 5, 10 years? We don't know because
Yeah.
people were just kind of like done. They're like these crybaby millionaires. I'm so sick of them.
Was it
So
across the MLB then?
I'm sorry.
Was it like across the entire MLB this was
Yeah,
happening?
yeah, like yeah, the entire baseball world, and I would assume that would also include minor leagues too. So everything just stopped.
Hmm.
There was no baseball in
Yeah, I
America.
remember this now. Yeah.
Yeah. So fast forward to '97. Mark McGuire, I think 1996, he hit like 61 home runs, 62 home runs. And he came very close to breaking the record. So the next season, he was like, you know what? I think he has a chance of doing it. So he comes into the season, and right away he's just knocking the balls out of the ballpark. He's hitting home runs. He's chasing the record, and that kind of brought a lot of eyes to baseball because although there are other important, just as important records in baseball, no one knows offhand, you know, who has the most triple plays, who has the longest hitting streak, and all that, and who has the most hits in their career, or the number of guys that have 3,000 hits. The normies, I guess, normal people wouldn't know,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone knows what a home run is, and everyone loves to see a home run because it's exciting and it's cool, and everyone gets up in arms about it.
Yeah.
So halfway through the season, a little bit, McGuire slowing down a little bit. That happens in baseball. It's 162 games, something like that. That's a lot of games that you're playing. So you're basically playing every single day almost, basically for like 4 months, 5 months. And Sammy Sosa, who plays for the Cubs, he starts to hit a stride where he's starting to catch up to McGuire now.
Mm.
And what made the rivalry even better is because they were both in the same division, so they would play each other a lot. And there's the rival
Oh.
between the Cubs and the Cardinals is up there in baseball, like one of the best rivalries in baseball. Um, Mark McGuire played for the Cardinals, and Sosa played for the Cubs. So
Mm-hmm.
it was two divisions, two cities that were very close together, uh, having someone chase that record, and it brought it brought new life back into baseball. The long ball saved baseball at that point, and it's not being hyperbolic. I generally think, and a lot of um, historians in baseball would agree that that season saved baseball big time.
It probably brought people who didn't even normally care about baseball.
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
because like the Cardinals weren't a good team
Mm-hmm.
that year. They knew they weren't going to go anywhere, but they had Mark McGuire chasing that record. So
Yeah.
that ballpark was full every single game. They were
Mm.
selling out every single game,
Damn.
and it was awesome to see. And every time he hit it, that place went wild. Same at Wrigley. But I mean,
How many would he like hit like per game?
I mean, sometimes he was hitting two or three in a game. Sometimes he would hit like he would hit like one home run for like 5 days straight, and you know,
But how are they doing this though? Like, is that even possible? That's normally not possible. So
so it is
how is this
possible.
even?
But let me get to the other part of the documentary as well.
Okay.
Uh, um, Mark McGuire breaks the record. Sammy Sosa catches up to McGuire, and he actually surpasses him right before the end of the season. So Sammy Sosa was in the lead to have the record. Mark McGuire broke it, but Sosa was going to walk away with it.
Yeah.
So the last game of the season, Sosa kind of slowed down a little bit. He was kind of there. McGuire took the lead again, and the last game of the season, he was tired, exhausted, mentally, physically, and he
Yeah.
goes out there, hits two more home runs to like pull ahead and to like be the home run king leader all time. Flash forward to like 2011, 2010, Barry Bonds would break that record.
Hmm.
So this is
By
where
how much do you think? Like by a lot or?
so I don't know what he finished off at, but I know he ended up hitting like 70. Barry Bonds ended up hitting 71 or 72 home runs in that season, and McGuire hit like 70, 71,
Oh.
which is a lot of home runs. I mean, that is astonishing number.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
To
I
have
mean,
to have like 50 home runs in a season is like great season. To have 70,
yeah.
Jesus, amazing. So But
What do
here's
most
where
players get it? Like 20, 30
probably on average 15 to 23, maybe, if I had to just off the top of my head, I
for
guess.
like for the whole season?
Yeah, that's for the whole season. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 100 and
Um,
some games, right?
yeah. So even
Yeah.
though it's easier than ever to hit a home run, a lot of guys don't come close to that and those numbers.
Yeah.
So this is where the bad part comes in.
Uh-oh.
And that does really hurt me as a baseball fan and a purist in a way. Um, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds were part of that steroid scandal,
Mm-hmm.
and they all popped for steroids. And Sosa was also caught using a cork bat once. So you never know if he used it that one game or if he used it for his whole career. Uh, uh, but basically, corking a bat basically gives you more bounce in your swing, so the ball goes further.
Mm.
So the top three home run leaders of all time for a single season: Bonds, McGuire, and Sosa in that order, all pop for steroids and all dirty. So that record has a big asterisk on it, and
Yep.
it really stains the game. And to me, again, for me, like I hate cheaters. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like it. I don't like people using steroids because Mark McGuire, Bonds, and Sosa, they were all incredible hitters. But steroids helps you hit that ball further. So instead of being the hitting kings, they were the home run kings. So and it really sucked. And how many people popped for steroids was insane. I forgot what the case was. Like I mean, like I'm probably over exaggerating, but 100 plus guys, and not just baseball players, like other sports and like high schoolers and young kids, like and they were giving all these steroids to give them the edge, and it just really sucks that McGuire is in the home run is in the Hall of Fame, but Pete Rose isn't. Um, and I know you have no idea what I'm talking about, but um, uh, I basically Pete Rose was a player. To me, one of the greatest players of all time because his work ethic, and he's like the definition of what a baseball player should be. Never got into the Hall of Fame because he was caught betting on the game while he was the coach for the Cincinnati Reds. And baseball was like, you can't do that. That's illegal. I'm like he bet on his team to win. It's not like he was trying to tank the game. He just wanted more money on the side. So, but we got people like cheater Mark McGuire, who seems like a stand up guy, and is a good baseball player, but he's still a cheater regardless.
Mm-hmm.
He's in. Um,
That's messed. Yeah, that's weird.
and they never and Ty Cobb is still in the Hall of Fame. He's from like the 20s or 30s era. This man was a stone
Yeah.
cold racist. Beat beat he would beat up black people for fun because he's
Jesus.
like, ugh. But he's still in the Hall of Fame. He's still allowed in there, but P Rose can't get in there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you have to separate yourself from like the person and the player sometimes, but someone like Ty Cobb needs to be taken out of the Hall of Fame regardless. I think there's just some people that don't deserve it now, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
And
it's like there's a combination of, are they going to let a murderer then
yeah, yeah,
stay just because he had the most amazing record in the history of the game? Or like,
yeah,
where are you drawing this line? It looks like nowhere. But maybe with this guy, now there's a double standard or something.
yeah. And and like I said, he seems like a stand-up guy and all. Seems decent and all, but he still cheated. He's a cheater. I mean, any way we look at it, and the reason why he probably got in there was because what he did for baseball, and I get that too. But he's a cheater, plain and simple, and that's hard
Yeah.
for me to to overlook. So
Yeah.
it's it hurts my 12-year-old baseball heart because
Yeah.
like as a grown adult it is what it is, but like I sit there and go like,
Hmm.
man, my 12-year-old self is really mad right now
Yeah. I
because
mean, back then that was like a big deal. such a big story. I even got a little bit excited about it.
Yeah, it's
Or I was like, oh, this is cool. This is competition. It's really crazy. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's steroids and cork baths. I'm like, oh, God, dude.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Uh,
it does suck the fun of it and everything. But I went
yeah,
to a game recently.
it did.
What was it, Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun, man. I mean, I wish you could have been there. But me and Manny went. We brought one of his buddies. And yeah, I mean, it's an ordeal just to get there. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
had to drive to Manny's and then drive to like the free lot and then get a bus and then take a walk because there's construction. So they're like, oh, we can't drop you right at the stadium. You got to walk like a mile.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the I freaking had to take like 3 different vehicles and walk like a mile just to get in the damn stadium. And yeah, I mean, it was raining and cold, and I was okay. I mean, I wore double layers, and then I had the power of beer on my side, so it was keeping me warm as well. But it was fun. I mean, once in a while, it's fun. And I obviously have no idea what's happening. Like, I'm not. I mean, I don't know any players and stuff, but I know what's happening. I mean, but I don't really know what's happening. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm just there for the fun and, you know,
I just want
hang
the
out.
beer.
Yeah, that's that too. I had a pretzel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had.
well, yeah. You love the pretzels.
Yeah, and he had to explain to his friend. He's like, yeah, this guy has to have a pretzel everywhere he goes. And he's like, oh, okay.
Like, cool. Then
I'm
didn't
like,
like
hey,
that'd be $20, please.
I'm not a weirdo. One pretzel.
That's funny.
It was a okay pretzel.
Yeah.
It was not
Stadium
the,
food tends to be okay.
yeah. And then we went to Maxwell's after.
Oh, that is
Oh, that was good.
the food you get after the game is always the best thing.
Yeah, I have not
You
done
know.
that for so long. Maxwell was like, yeah, it's been like many years since I've been there. But Manny's friend gave me a sport pepper, and they're incredibly hot. Like it was so weird. I don't know what was in that damn pepper.
It
Like
was
even
the
through
Saints.
the alcohol, like it was making me cry, and I was like on the side, like leaning up against like a lamp post. I was just like, oh God, it's bad. And then yeah, man, there was something up with that pepper.
it was made in Satan's garden.
It was a fun night, man, but it was just such an ordeal, man.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
There's some more
It's
stories we'll tell you later, but
okay.
it was a lot. A lot happened. And me and Manny were like arguing in the in the memorabilia store for like an hour, like a solid hour.
That's funny.
We were just like arguing it and stuff. Cause you know how he gets. He's like, let me buy you something. Let me buy you something. I'm
Oh.
like, no, you're not buying anything for me. No, just get out of here. We're not doing this. And we started arguing. It was funny.
I can, I can, I can just see like, come on, dude. Like, no, man, that's cool, man. No, I'm serious, man. No, no.
And I was shut up, you jerk. And then I was telling random people to help me. I was like, I told this one dude, like this outside, like cholo guy.
Yeah.
He was outside. I was like, hey man, tell this dude to stop trying to buy me stuff. And the guy looked at me. He's like, you tell him.
You're like,
And
what,
started
what
laughing.
the
I'm like,
like?
I was like, fair enough. And I just walked away.
That's funny.
It was fun, man. But we kind of ruined it because we were like more interested in like shenanigans rather than the game. So
Oh.
we were trying to get better seats the whole time and like
Oh.
running around and getting stood up and getting our tickets checked and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
We got really far though. We were like way up and we ended up really, really down there close.
Nice.
We had to get up like 6, 7 times.
Yeah. It's
We kept making friends at every stop and then like we'd be like, all right, later, dude. And then we'd go make new friends at another seat. It was funny, man.
That's funny. Well, it's good that you had a good time because it it's hard when you have someone who's not a fan of things or like yeah, it can go either way.
Yeah.
So I was like,
And then it's kind of hard to get him there because honestly, I didn't really want to.
yeah,
And it's only because like I'm lazy and the amount of effort to get there, I was like, oh, this is a lot.
yeah.
And yeah, and I'm selfish, so
At least you're honest.
I'm being honest. But I had a good time. And I would like to go again with you guys.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to make that work again because
Yeah.
I do miss the ballpark.
Yep. But yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. Where did you say you watched that?
Uh, Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
So, do I have any other nerd outs? Oh, it was my birthday last week.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was my birthday,
Oh,
and
happy birthday.
yes, and I hung out with you and Manny and Gil
Happy grand opening.
for my birthday, and that was fun. It was good. It was low key, it was
Yeah.
quiet, and that's the way. Like I had no problem going out and
Yeah.
having a crazy wild night, but a lot of times I just like to just chill out with friends and stuff like that, and just have a good time.
It was
So
like Fast and Furious mixed with foosball.
yeah, yes,
It's
yes,
nice and simple.
and within that little group, I am undefeated in the foosball because I
Man,
am.
you were unstoppable.
it
There was something
was
up with you.
it was amazing. I loved it.
Kind of say luck or something.
Better check me for steroids. So.
Yeah. You brought your own special ball, or I don't know what the hell you did. I almost had you. Man, I was really close
You
one
were
time.
close. You were close. You were.
Really freaking close.
I was down by 2, and then I was like, nope. Yeah.
Like, no, sorry. Not happening. I
uh,
deserve to win.
yeah, it was fun, and I got really into it too. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I haven't played for so long. And now I told Nicole, I'm like, you better start looking out for a foosball table for me too.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah,
Like, don't
because
come to Father's Day without a foosball table.
because we used to play foosball a lot at our grandparents' house because our grandpa had one in the attic.
Yeah. And we didn't care if it was 110 degrees up there. We play.
And trust me, it got to 110 degrees up there.
But it's hot up there.
It was hotter than hell's ass.
And
And he had the punching bag up there too, which was fun.
yeah.
And and he had his metal pipe nunchucks there too.
Oh my God, you're right.
He made it himself, and
Weird.
it was awesome.
It's like the downstairs grandma had all the weird movies, and then upstairs grandpa had all the dangerous stuff to
Yeah.
around with. It was pretty fun. I never thought
Always. But
metal nunchuck, metal
yeah,
pipe nunchuck. He's like, you know what? He was like, that was so funny though, the way he told the story. He's like, I don't know, he's like trying to sound like some kind of master, like smith or like weaponsmith or something. He's like,
yeah.
I found these two pipes and I went to my garage and welded them together myself. And I made this weapon. We're sitting there like, holy shit, this is awesome.
It was awesome because the fact that
Dangerous.
he actually did do it himself was crazy.
Yeah, that's what's cool. He had the compressor and everything in the garage.
Yeah, and he did it, and they were deadly. My
Dude,
God, were they deadly?
holy cow.
Yeah. Oh man, those were the days.
Yes, those are the days.
Yeah. And then shout out to Gil and his wife for they printed me out.
Ooh,
Fucking cool script. I fucking love it. The original screenplay by George A. Romero for Resident Evil.
the Resident Evil?
Yeah,
What the hell is in it?
the screenplay.
But he wrote the screenplay for that?
Yeah, it just
You mean the one with Overwatch?
never got made, but
Oh, okay. I
it's
see.
George A. Romero.
So when were they working with him to
If I had to assume, probably 90s, maybe early
yeah.
2000s.
Oh, so this is shortly after like the first couple
Yeah.
games came out. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
And they're like, you know
Because
what? Fuck that guy. Let's go with George A. No, not George A. Go with Paul Anderson.
yeah, let's get him and make
Him
these
and his
movies for
wife to
us.
make 11 movies, and
Yeah.
9 of them suck.
Yeah, those. Yeah, like I like the franchise, but yeah, it's not good. A lot of them are not good. They're really bad.
Yeah. Um,
So, but that's okay.
yeah. I mean,
Trash,
that's
trash
crazy
is
that
okay too.
George A. was on the table for that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh
That's
my
really
god.
cool, man. That's a cool idea that has come up with that for you. Good job,
Yeah,
Gail. And your wife. Good
yeah,
job.
yeah, and it was her idea as well. So like, oh my god, you're an amazing friend. I love you.
Oh, yeah. How did they do it? Like, did they put it inside of something, or how did
Yeah,
they?
so they put it inside of a binder for me with the so it looks like an actual script, like like it just came off the backlot. It was really cool. So I was
Yeah,
like, that's awesome, man. Thank you. Really appreciate it,
very
Gil.
cool.
If you're listening, thank you again.
Good job, Ben. Those are the kind of gifts that you remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm a emotional bitch, and I remember a lot of stuff. So,
Yes, you do.
but yeah. So that's it for my nerd outs. Oh, and shout out to Manny for buying the meat
Oh,
for the
yeah.
little get together, and then for you buying the beer or bringing the beer, whatever you did. I
I
appreciate
bought it,
it because
and I brought
okay,
it.
nice.
I did both.
Uh,
Oh, sure.
I
Sure.
super duper appreciate it. I really do.
Oh, and we bought you that Pokemon game like months ago. Or
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for your birthday. I hate doing that though, because then it feels I feel terrible like not showing up with anything.
Oh no, you, j- you being there was enough for me. Like I said, I don't expect gifts or I don't expect a lot of things. Just if we get
Yeah.
together and we can hang out, you know what? To me, that's all I really need.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, we've had some good times. That one time we went all the way downtown, throw axes and stuff.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was real fun.
Birthday,
Uh,
man. Hope you enjoyed it, even though you had a lot of work lately, but gotta
uh,
make it fun for
yeah,
you.
yeah, and it worked because work has been fucking crazy. But it was nice to have that day to just kind of relax for a little bit after work.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah. So thanks again, guys.
Good, good. Welcome.
So with that sap story over now, we'll go ahead and I think because I'm done with my nerd outs now, so we'll go ahead and
Yeah.
um give you your warning. Spoiler talks are ahead for Moon Knight, the complete series, all 6 episodes, and then we'll get into Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Again, heavy spoilers. We're not going to hold back.
Nope.
So if you haven't listened to any of those, you can check out. Like I said, we'll do Moon Knight first, since I think a lot of people watch that easier, since you can watch it at home, and then we'll talk about Strange last.
Okay.
So we'll give you a couple seconds here to run back if you're cleaning the house or doing whatever you're doing, or
Quick pause. Tell Siri to pause. Cover your ears and say la 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 la.
and don't
Whatever
say
you
we
got.
didn't warn,
Yep.
because it's time, motherfuckers. Um,
Time. It is
it's
time.
time. Moon
It
Knight.
has begun.
Um, what's your so including the last episode, what's your overall feelings of the series as a whole?
Uh, it is not what I expected by any
Mhm.
stretch. Even though, well, I mean, I stopped following all this stuff. I'm very removed from all of it.
Mhm.
So I'm genuinely do have surprises my way because, like in Shang-Chi, when I didn't even know there was a kaiju battle at the end, things like that. So it's good. I'm glad those things are happening. But with Moon Knight, I felt like I wanted a different story.
Right.
Not that this was bad, wasn't. It really wasn't.
Mhm.
This was, I don't know. I kind of wanted something different, but I guess this kind of had to be different just because everything else, like they were saying in the press, was like everything's in New York, and it's like you got to do something different here. So
Right.
I could, why they did it. I mean, I liked it overall. I think I can give it a solid 7 for everything. Maybe no, I would say like a 7 because I say this at every damn show, but I always feel like they're wasting time, and that annoys me throughout the series. Like, I feel like time is being wasted
Yeah.
in
I
ways that
can
I don't agree with.
I can understand
Like
that.
where I'm like, I did spend 30 minutes like in this cave, and like, yes, you guys talked a little and we had a cool action, but it's like, why did we spend that much time? We only have a little bit of time. I don't know. That's me. I liked it though. I did like it.
Good. Good. I hate it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Overall, I liked it. Um, I'll give it a 6.5 as a whole,
Okay.
and I say that because apparently, after talking to a couple of nerds, people like us who are into this stuff and listen to some YouTube videos, um, this Moon Knight is closer to what Moon Knight is now, and not the
What do you-
80s and 90s version of Moon Knight.
Oh, okay.
This from so the story that I hear thrown around a lot in the comics that this is more in line with the storyline called the Fist of Kanchu,
Hmm.
which basically kind of confirms that, oh, this is real. There's Egyptian gods. There's powers. He's more superhuman than he is like street level now.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, all that stuff was implied, or it was, well, is he crazy or not? Because I think Khonshu was just a statue at the time in like the 80s. It was more like, oh, maybe he's just really into Egyptian shit and he's just crazy and he's punching people in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of hoping for, something a little more gritty. And we got more of the Khonshu superhero. This is real kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel underwhelmed by it because
Hmm.
the episode 5 was great. It's fantastic. Again, we love to see our heroes be traumatized. It's just one of those things, I guess, that we enjoy
Yeah.
because it is great. It was really good. The mother can go burn in hell, and the father can burn in hell too. Uh, and
Yeah.
they're both
That,
shitty people.
that was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that was rough to watch, but overall, it just felt like, yeah, like it felt like they were going somewhere, and we're not
Hmm.
there yet.
Yeah.
That's still more to the story, and I will. I I'm almost certain he's gonna show up somewhere else, but where and how are they gonna resolve this issue? Because there is this clip from the comics going around on Instagram, basically showing that the three personalities inside of this one body kind of decided, hey, we don't need you, Kanchu, anymore. Like we're okay with who we are, so bugger off, and
Yeah.
kind of like make him disappear. So they keep the suit and the powers, but like Kanchu's no longer
Mm.
attached to them. That can happen still. I don't know what's going on, and I'll have more stuff with Doctor Strange too, and which ties into this. Where I don't know where anything's going. I don't know how this fits into the world of the
Right.
MCU. I don't
Right.
know how it's gonna work. Again, like we went from like phase one where like, oh, science and magic are kind of the same. We're more logic based to, no, there's actual Egyptian gods and there's an underworld. It's all real, and we're
Yeah.
just gonna kind of blow past it real quick and kind of go punch someone in the face.
Yeah. And it's also like introducing something like that needs to be given more attention because in here it's just like, yeah, they showed up as like human avatars, and it felt cheap, and it felt like rushed, and it felt underdeveloped and stuff, and it's just like that's what adds to the underwhelming nature of everything.
Yeah, 100%.
You do that enough times, and it's like, okay, well, this is kind of went nowhere. It's like now I don't know where it goes or where it fits, and that's an unfortunate side effect of having a connected universe because it's hard to take stuff for what it is. Even though this show was kind of contained, but your mind can't help but ask, like, where is this, or what does that actually mean? Because how is there gods, and how is there this, and why is
Right.
it this but not that over there, and that kind of
Right.
stuff.
100%. 100%. And again, there another kaiju fight. uh, it's
Yeah,
another
that was
kaiju
kind of
fight,
crazy.
and
It was
if
kind of cool, but kind of silly
it,
though.
yeah,
Kind of,
silly out of nowhere, and like to think
yeah.
that in Age of Ultron, as soon as Captain America was fighting Ultron on top of a bus, that shit was on the news. Everyone saw it. Everyone had their phone out. Everyone was recording. They're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, the world's gonna end!" And we have two literal Egyptian gods fighting in a pyramid the size of a building going, you know what? That's not newsworthy. We're good.
No, right. Well, what's kind of weird is like, why was that creature invisible in one of the first episodes? But like,
Right.
is that what was happening? Like, was it invisible to everyone else or not? Or I don't know. It's not clear. So
Right.
yeah, the more you think about it, I mean, it's kind of like, and especially that, like, hey, I mean, is the cat out of the bag now? But
Yeah. Yeah.
somehow there's a giant alligator and a giant like skull raven thing fighting.
Yeah, man. And I don't think it's nitpicking because if you look at it, a lot of stuff has been altered and changed and kind of forgotten what happened in like previous stuff or like altering characters again, like again, like the the Loki show, like that's not our Loki
Mm-hmm.
from Thor 3. That's the first Avengers Loki. The man who plucked someone's eye out and was smiling and happy about it, killed hundreds of people and was like, I love killing, la 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 la. And
Mm-hmm.
then he gets captured by the TVA, again, Loki was a great fighter in like in phase one. Like he was like he almost beat Captain America
Yeah.
with no problem. And then here, oh, I'm just a lovable goofball who forgot how to fight, and I don't like to hurt people. It's like you really just don't care. you are you
Uh,
you
I don't
know
know. I
it's
could see
because
that, but I also argue the other way too. That his
also
brother has been kind of nipping at him, and I don't know. And then the way they kind of nerfed him, where like the TVA made him feel really powerless and stuff like that. So I don't know.
well
That show had its issues for sure.
I don't
But
know, again like and then like he has that sense of humor from Thor 3 when that's not the same one. Like this is still the mean
mm-hmm.
Loki who wants to like destroy and like had like brother issues and daddy issues, like that's that Loki. But
Yeah.
we're gonna take the one that everyone knows and likes, and we're gonna make him the main character out of nowhere. It's
Mm-hmm.
again, there's a lot of and when you start looking at it, a lot of stuff just starts to not hold up, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Um, and again, like just random shit's happening, just random
Mm-hmm.
powers. It's just like what's going on? What are we doing? This is why after Endgame you had to stop because you gotta explain
Yep.
time travel and multiverse, and that gets really messy. And you haven't been doing a good job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just it's like just
Yeah.
end it there.
Usually, I'm not a big fan of multiverse stuff. Like DC, like nonstop does that, and it's part of why I don't really like them that much. But I do like Elseworlds, so it's kind of hypocritical what I'm saying. But at the same time, it's like I didn't really, I don't know. I guess they had to up the ante somehow, but I don't know. Their execution is, I don't know. Don't think I'm really that on board.
That and that's the thing. I think that if it would be different if it was actually really good and it all tied
Yeah,
together and it all made sense. Like you
sure.
can forgive a lot of things. Like again, like all the stuff I brought up. There's stuff I can bring up about Winter Soldier and all this other stuff, but I love
Sure.
those films so much. I don't really matter. It doesn't really, you know what I mean. Like you can overlook those things for something that's really good. When
Hmm.
it's bad, you can easily nitpick it to death and be like, "Wow, you really did not give a shit about this character, or this story, or whatever." You know,
Yeah.
it's
Um. Yeah. I mean, I would say a lot. On a whole, the Disney shows have had the same effect on me time after time. like I'm excited for them, and then they're pretty good, and then they're kind of good, and then there's a couple moments that are pretty good, but overall it's just like it feels a little pointless, or like I don't know what this really means. It's just kind of weird how they're structured, these shows.
Yep,
And
100%.
they don't end up how you would expect them to, if that makes any sense.
It does.
You're just like, wait, what? Why did we do that? Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that with Moon Knight in a minute here, but
Yeah.
I'll let you finish your point real quick.
I mean, I hate to rag on these shows because I really love this stuff, but I'm just not feeling like the same way as I was with I guess the first phase. No, not even phase.
The first half of the face.
With the first 10 years, I guess,
Yeah,
of Marvel MCU.
I feel the same way. You know, I said a number of times where I would have been happy with Endgame being it. No more movies, nothing else. Obviously, it would never happen because the money's too good to pass up. But
Yeah.
like that was just a perfect way. Like you can forgive all the flaws and to time travel and all this other stuff because you don't have to explain it. The movie's over, the franchise is done, but now we have to explain everything and it gets muddled and it gets nasty and it just
Yeah.
gets really hard to. Because again, like so, Captain America just let 9/11 happen. He just let all this bad stuff happen. Like he knows what's going to happen, but everything still worked out the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing changed, even though like so he's
Oh, I
not
see.
Captain America then, you know, like so he's not Captain America then, so we don't have Captain America.
Yeah, it gets really messy. Yeah, the
Eh,
more you think about it,
yeah, it
it
gets
gets
really
messy.
messy. And then like you return the stone, but you don't get anything in return. So the Soul Stone, so everyone's just gone. That's it, you
Yeah.
know. And if there's no Captain America, then there's no Red Skull to be the guide, maybe of someone else. But it's just
Mm-hmm.
it gets and
Gets to be too much. Yeah, it's
it's
like,
too
well,
much,
what if
you know.
this, what if that? You know.
Yeah, nobody is ever going to be Back to the Future, and just deal with that. That's okay. You know, like
Yeah.
Back to the Future handled it. Probably is the best time travel movie ever made, hands down. I think. You know, the script was tight, everything worked,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone else tries it and it just gets nasty
I
and,
guess
and muddy.
there has to be a clear set of rules
Yep.
or it falls apart. I mean, but it's hard to do that when you have concepts like that.
Right.
But
I agree, hundred
well, I
percent.
don't know. But yeah. Kinda.
But
Yeah. I
um,
mean, we kind of beat off the path of Moon Knight, but
yeah. So, but I mean, again, so like the show, like it's not bad.
no,
I
it's
I
not bad.
I do enjoy it.
Entertaining.
Oscar Isaac is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll take that back. He's phenomenal.
Oh hell yeah.
Because he has played two different people and he does it really well.
Yep.
Um, Ethan Hawke is a legend. He's always on his A game. He doesn't seem to ever phone it in, even if it's an easy paycheck. He gives it his all the time,
Definitely.
and I
I felt
appreciate
like
that.
they developed him weird though.
I mean, honestly, I think I think he was the most well developed because it didn't feel rushed or in place. Like, it just felt natural to me
Hmm.
with him because he's a fanatic. We know he
Yeah.
had and I'm glad that they didn't do like a flashback of him as Moon Knight and having a fallout with Kanchu. Like
Hmm.
it was like, hey, you stupid old bird. I remember what you did to me and I don't like it. It's like cool, okay, perfect.
And it was kind of cool. One of the early scenes where he's like listening to him and stuff like that.
That was very
That was
yeah.
pretty cool.
It was very cool. You're like, oh, that crazy old bird. He keeps talking to you, huh? Yeah, I know. I get
He's
it.
like, see, that's all he can do. Just rustle some winds and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So stuff like that is really cool. And again, show don't tell, but sometimes clever wording helps too. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, hold on.
Oh.
Babysitting the puppy right now. He
Oh.
decided to go attack an Amazon box.
Oh, gotcha.
I had to grab her. Say, come here.
Is that the penny winnie?
Yeah, the crazy penny.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
unofficial mascot of Three Nerds on a Sunday.
Yeah, crazy little mascot.
Hmm.
No, I mean, I hate to keep being negative. I don't know why. I mean, I just can't take how good everything was, and now it's like not as good as that. So I don't know.
No, I get it. I understand 100%.
Yeah.
But let's kind
But
of
I mean, it doesn't mean we can't enjoy it, even though it's not as good as that. I mean,
right. Yeah, it's just we kind of want something a little more than what we got, or
sure.
maybe different expectation. It wasn't quite met. Um,
Yeah.
but
And I
with
guess my version of the character isn't really like this. I have trouble like getting rid of that feeling.
oh yeah. I can't speak for a lot of people, but I know I think for us we love that old school Moon Knight that I'm
Yeah.
gonna beat your face bloody
Yeah.
and have my hands and suit all
I
red.
didn't get any of that, and I just didn't like that. Like it bothered me the whole show.
Hmm.
And that's what kind of sucks about being a fan because you you can't enjoy the movies the same way and stuff like that. Like there've been certain DC movies where Nicole's like that was pretty good, and I'm like that sucked.
It's trash, and you're trash.
And I'm like I just wish I had like sometimes just didn't have the baggage, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. The baggage is really bad
Yeah, because
sometimes.
I think this show people would definitely like. It's just, but if you have that baggage and you wanted the other type and you didn't get it at all, and then Moon Knight's not in it for like 90%.
Yeah.
So
That's another
okay,
thing.
well I guess I didn't get that, but what I got was not bad.
Yeah, right.
And then you're all confused and like why is this that like what's gonna happen now? Blah blah blah. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean it was good. It just wasn't amazing.
Yeah, it was good, and again, it's a problem. Marvel starting to become good and not great, and I think that's an issue.
Funny because this is the point where I quit the comics. Like
Hmm.
there was a time where I was really enjoying everything, and then they did like the all new stuff. They literally called it all new, like all new
Uh,
Avengers and blah blah blah. And
oh, that's right here.
yeah, and like they wiped out all the ones that I love, and it was like it just didn't feel right. So I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I just left, and I'm kind of feeling like that now, but not enough to like just quit yet, but
Hmm.
to the point where I'm like, oh, that was okay. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't that amazing or anything.
Yeah. Um, I guess talk about the actual last episode itself a little bit because a lot happened, but also I think nothing like nothing. They gave us a stinger that leads to like what it's over and that's it. Okay, fine. um,
Oh, right. That
we
was pretty cool though. That what they did there.
yeah, but
That's a long burn they did on that one though. Like they didn't. I mean,
true.
they didn't like try to overplay it with that third personality.
Yeah, and I hate what they're doing still. That they're still playing off of that. Is it real? Is it not real? Is this like no? It's real. Marvel. You don't have the balls enough to have an entire season dedicated to you trying to trick us that it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, this is real. Stop playing around.
Right. Yeah, they did that a lot of times, and it's like, I don't know.
Especially towards the end.
Yeah, they did. And then I don't know. I thought in the beginning they kind of squashed it when only Mark could see or only Steven could see the monsters,
Mhm.
and the wife couldn't. And
Yeah.
then, but then they were like, I forgot what happened. Like it was raining, or she threw something and it hit it, and it
Right.
was there. And I was like, oh wait, so it is, it isn't. And they kept doing that, and it's like, yeah, it kept annoying. It's like,
Yeah.
can we just fix something here?
So I
But
was like, man, like just because again, I harp on this forever that all these shows like these shows they just like to have that weird episode of like, oh he's been a seance the whole time or he's been dreaming this. I'm like, no, he's not.
yeah,
Like even Legion like did like 2 episodes of that and stopped. You know,
Legion was
like
pretty good. That was interesting.
yeah, like even that turnaround was like, nah, we're just joking. This is all real.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, and that's the whole thing about him, like thinking he's crazy.
yeah,
So, the stinger that we're talking about, the third personality, or we come to find out that there is an official third personality to Mark, which leaves me with more questions because again, I don't read the comics like that, so they might explain it, but um
Mm-hmm.
um well, I keep want to call him Roy. His name's not Roy, but it's like
It's got a funny name. It's like an
yeah,
older style name.
yeah.
I don't know why I can't come up with it. Yeah, I don't remember.
It's like isn't it like something Locke, like Jacob
Barlow or
Locke?
something. Jake Lockley. Yeah, there you go.
Jake Lockley. There you go, Jake Lockley. Ha, we figured it out.
Good job.
We're super smart. Uh, he shows up, and Kanchu, being the devil man he is, which that I did like that he didn't. He's not, he's not just good. He's like, no, he's got alternative motives. He
Yeah.
always has something in the back burner. It's like, okay, I like that. That's good.
Hmm.
Keep bad guys around and make them, do stuff later. So he
Yeah. I'm
has
tired
him.
of them going away.
Yeah, so they pick up Ethan Hawke's character after he's been fused with the god he was trying to bring back and kill him with Lockley. Um, and again, there's third personality. I don't know how that works because we we explained Steven as a persona that he built to protect himself. So I don't know where this guy comes into play, but
Hmm.
um, Kanchu is he like, oh, I'll let you out of your deal, sure. Ha ha ha. There's another personality you know about, and I still own your body, bitch.
Yeah.
And Moon Knight shows up, and Mister Knight show up, and they have a pretty decent fight scene. So
That was
that's
actually pretty
something.
cool. That
That's
was a
cool.
nice fight. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that now that Steven knows that he is Mark, he's like, I know how to fight too. Yeah.
Right. And
I
it's
like.
funny because they
Oh,
kind of
that's cool.
mentioned it before where there's saying something about muscle memory, like
Mhm.
his body still kind of remembers how to fight, even though the personality just shifted or whatever. But it was cool though, the way he fought and everything.
Yeah, and there's that cool line. I think in episode 5, I think it was, where he's like, where Steven is like Mark is in trouble. He's about to get thrown
Hmm.
into the sand, and Steven's like, well, if I'm Mark, then that means I got this too. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, good job. So
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
very
Yeah, there was
cool.
some good stuff. Um, I mean, there was one part where Moon Knight jumps and his cape turned into a half moon. It was just cool.
Oh yeah.
It was the stuff I wanted to see and stuff. And that fight, yeah, that you were talking about, that was good. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I said,
and
we already brought everything up.
yeah, and his wife became a avatar for the boat hippo,
Oh yeah,
and
that
the
was actually
hippo.
pretty cool.
I love the hippo. She's funny, and I love his wife. She's also a badass, and she gets this really cool suit too. So
Yeah, that
that
was good.
that's a big plus.
I wonder why she was kind of like an eagle though. I guess if you know about Egyptian gods, maybe it makes sense.
Probably, yeah. I'm not well versed in that era of
Yeah.
mythology. I don't want to necessarily call it mythology because it is real to somebody. So, but but yeah, it's like the Marvel stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, I vaguely heard your name, uh, unless you're Horus or
Yeah, or
or
um, Anubis.
yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah,
So
there's so many of them, and it's like it's hard.
yeah, but I mean, overall, this last episode was them coming to terms with who they are, fighting, trying to win the fight. It was just a big action episode, which it was good. I don't have issues with that per se. It's just the way the way they just, because usually they rush in the last episode, but this one felt like they take too much time. Where, hey, we have more story to tell, but we're gonna stop it right here. So
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, like I said, overall, I enjoyed Moon Knight. You sound like you enjoy Moon Knight as well. It's
I did.
just
Yeah.
it's it's just I don't know. There's just something about it. And with that being said, where would you rank this amongst the TV shows? Like,
Oh
would
yeah.
this like would just is your favorite? Is this like in the
Definitely
middle
not my
for you?
favorite. I guess middle. I don't even know,
No,
honestly. I don't think there's been any of these shows that have blown me away and I've been super happy with.
that's fair.
I've liked them all, I would say, but there's not been one that was like, oh my god, it was amazing from start to finish. Can't wait, want more, blah blah blah. It wasn't really like that for me.
Right. Yeah. Um, by default, this might be number two.
Number two, yeah.
To me, my favorite is still Harvey Birdman and Mr. PTSD is still my favorite
Mr. P.
series. Um,
I want it to be my favorite, but there was definitely some parts that
oh no, sure, there are
weren't good
parts that
enough.
are
Just weren't good
that
enough.
are yeah,
Yeah.
and there are stuff that irks me, like the way that they treat U.S. agent. Like I wish they would have made him more of a bad guy because it just
Yeah.
like y'all just keep shit on this guy for no reason. Like he's trying his best. He's trying,
Yeah.
he's trying. And that is like one of those things where like I don't see it when I was watching it, but like thinking about it, like yeah, you know what? He didn't really do anything bad.
Hmm.
He got him out of jail. He was always trying to help him out. He's like, hey, let's work together, and they're like, bitch. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh
like, damn. It's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, he chopped someone's chest open with the shields because you made him do this, you know. So, but I think the character building between those two characters actually coming together and
yeah. Hmm.
working through
That
their own
was
shit,
pretty good. That
which
was
I
good.
think is the best thing of any of the shows I've done so far. Because it felt like that series actually had a purpose.
Yeah.
It got us. Some people are still mixed on just keeping Falcon as Falcon, but now he's Captain America. That can go
Yeah.
either way for you. But
Hmm.
and then with Bucky coming to terms with his demons and them actually becoming friends, like no longer just like, hey, we have an acquaintance friend that we do missions with. It's now
Yeah.
we're friends too, and that was great to me. Like it actually advanced them forward instead of keeping them same spot. Moon
Yeah.
Knight second because Oscar Isaac, like I said, just kills it. That fifth
Oh yeah.
that fifth episode with him learning about his trauma and why Steven's around. Great episode, fantastic.
Yeah.
um,
Definitely. There were some really good parts.
yeah, and the pacing, like I said, issue with the storytelling, but the pacing I thought was really well for all episodes. Like I was never really bored. It was just
Hmm.
like one of those things like where are we going?
Yeah. Hmm.
Hawkeye would be third.
Yeah. That
Um,
was pretty good too.
I I I I like Kate Bishop. I think she's a good addition. I think she's funny, but she's not like I don't want to say Mary
No,
Sue,
not like a
but
try hard. Like it's not
yeah,
that fun. Yeah.
yeah, because like she like legitimately learns the hard way. Like, oh, there's a difference between like fighting in a tournament and fighting in the streets for your life. And
Hmm.
she grows as a person, so that was pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
Kingpin showed up. That was awesome, but they implied that he's dead. He comes back because I know that storyline, but he's gonna have eye patch, and I don't like that. Just put him in a nice clean suit. um, and then everyone who listens to this knows my disdain for WandaVision and Loki. Um, I piss on it.
Which
Uh,
one do you hate worse?
oh, I hate Loki the most.
Yeah.
100%. I hate that fucking show.
Um. Yeah. I don't hate it, but it's probably one of the. Yeah, it's probably the lowest.
Yeah. I I pee on it. I pee and poop on it. Um, yeah. So that, like I said, I think overall I've been disappointed with TV shows.
Mhm.
Um, we got other stuff coming up. I don't know the Agatha thing. I can't get Nova, but Agatha gets her own show. I don't get it.
Yeah. Dumb. Why would you do that?
I am interested in She-Hulk. I think she can be a decent character, and Miss Marvel.
Ms. Marvel.
I don't,
I don't want to watch that. It doesn't look good.
I'm gonna watch it. I feel like it has a chance to be one of those like nice, like uplifting stories, which is nice to have every now and then. So I'll give it a chance. I'm not expecting much, but you know, I think as long as it has a good message, I'm fine with it. So, um,
Yeah. Um, I'm actually not excited for any of the new shows. No,
I don't blame you.
it's
And
gonna
I and
be. I feel like it's. I'm gonna only like certain things from here on out, and
sure,
that's fine. I mean, whatever.
yeah,
I got my 10 years.
yeah, they were great tenures.
Yeah, they were. It's hard
Um,
because those were my favorites growing up, and it's like a lot of these new ones that they're introducing. I've never been exposed to them,
yeah,
um, and they're not doing a good job of making me love them
right,
like the show. So I'm just kind of like, okay, sure.
yeah. So we'll move on from kind of poo-pooing on the TV shows. This is your second warning you're gonna get if you haven't caught up with Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness. We are going to go into spoilers. Um, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Just type in Three Nerds on a Sunday. No hyphens, no underscores, no numbers. Just Three Nerds on a Sunday, baby. And go ahead and find us.
Yeah,
And like I said, we'll give you just a couple more seconds to jump off because, again, spoilers ahead. I'm super
yeah.
serial. Merriman Pig will be
The
very
movie
angry.
just came out in theaters only, so yeah,
Yes, yeah,
be
yeah,
careful here.
yes. Tread lightly. And with that being said, I think that was enough warning. Well, let's go ahead and
Okay.
talk about Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh, dang.
Right off the bat, I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
I love Sam Raimi. My God, did
Mhm.
I love
Me too.
this? My God, did I love his work in this?
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's some
it's
cool stuff.
fantastic. Um,
The
the
zombie
story
stuff
itself is,
alone was just so
oh
great.
yeah.
My favorite part.
This is the closest thing that we'll see as Marvel doing a horror as we're gonna
Hmm.
get, which gives me a little hope for Blade if they can get the right director.
Yeah.
Um, I enjoyed American Chavez a lot. Actually, I was
Yeah.
kind of worried about that character was going to be very annoying, but I actually like her character
Me
a lot.
too. I was worried about it.
Yeah.
It's funny
So.
when she hits their way. Doesn't know Espanol or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's really funny. Got a few laughs, like Mexican people in the theater were laughing.
Yeah.
That
That was cool. So like,
was
uh, so far, there's one thing I will say about this new phase, second half of what Marvel's doing is that the young people that they're bringing in, I'm liking a lot.
that's hard to do, man. It's
It's very hard to do.
usually those are the worst.
Kate Bishop,
Yeah.
American Chavez, um, Baby Widow. I always forget her name.
All right.
Uh, yeah, yeah, her.
She's good.
Shang-Chi and his maybe not girlfriend but best friend in the world.
Yeah.
Lo- Love those two. They're great.
Oh yeah. They're
So
good.
so far they've been doing really good with bringing in the new people, and I'm loving all of them.
Hmm.
Um, Wanda, loved her in this one. I
She was
thought
good.
this is what I hope they would lean more into with the show because the show tries to justify it at the end. You know, instead of
Right.
embracing it and going with it, they're like, you know what? She's still a good guy in heart. I'm like, damn it. So this one right off the bat tells you, no, no, no. She's a bad lady. She's a
Yeah.
bad person, and I was great.
No,
Um,
that was good.
I will say that I'm glad that this didn't turn into personally into a like a cameo fest film.
Yeah.
It could have been very easy for them to be like, oh, here, do you remember that the original actor who played Captain America back in the '80s? So here he is now. It's like, oh, Jesus, all
Oh,
right,
that would have
calm
been
down,
too much.
you know.
Yeah.
um, or here's the original Fantastic Four from that '90s movie that no one knows about or whenever it came out. It easily could have been something like that, and I'm glad that they didn't do that.
Oh yeah, I'm glad too. There was enough going on
Yeah,
to not do something like that.
and um, well, I guess we'll get more into the minutia stuff. But the one negative I will say is that the multiverse stuff just feels like it's like one-off stuff. It feels like it has no impact on anything else. And this way I feel about this one too.
Like, in what way? Like, I'm not saying I don't agree, but I'm just trying to think. What do you like?
like
How do you mean?
like the stories are sewn up and that's it. Like
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man, like the Spider-Men, Tobey Maguire and them, they come in, they do the thing, they leave. All those bad guys that were here, gone, over,
Mm-hmm.
problem solved.
Yeah.
This issue, problem solved. WandaVision, oh, it was all in her head, and that really wasn't like her. That wasn't the Quicksilver from the X-Men movie. It was just some dude
Oh,
in
yeah.
the city. Solved, done. Loki, oh, we're just gonna send him to a different universe where he'll get more and more shenanigans
Yeah,
and
you know what? That is a good point. Yeah.
you know,
Well, even in this, I mean, when they
yeah,
killed those characters right away, they're like, it doesn't matter. It's just another universe, whatever.
yeah, yeah. It was over. It was done.
It's like, wait,
Was
wait, wait, wait. You can't. As cool as it was, I mean, that
yeah,
reminded me
pretty
of
cool.
Invincible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
But
Yeah.
that was awesome, though.
Mm,
In a way. In a
yeah.
way, it was a little disappointing.
A little bit. A
Because
little bit, but
they were such big characters to kill, and even actors, too.
yeah, the John
Yeah, that one.
Kirkinski.
Krasinski, maybe. But
I'll just call him John. Um,
that one was a big one to kill. Like,
that was like I remember this. I don't know if it was like fan
that
made
felt like
art.
personal to me.
Yeah, like there's this fan art of him as Reed Richards, and it looked just like the art piece. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
like
that
exactly.
that looks good, and the suit
Somebody
looked
did a good job.
good. So that
Yeah,
was awesome to see. That was crazy.
I
Um,
love the little music when the professor came out.
oh,
Hear his little X-Men tune. I was like,
ah,
man, that was good.
doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I was
that's so
gonna pull a
cool.
Comic Con and be like, Professor.
That was so cool. That
Yeah,
was
that was
cool.
really cool
And he
though.
was in his chair too, like in the
Yep.
TV chair, like not
Like,
just his wheelchair, his chair.
yeah, it's a freaking like techno hover chair from Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got my Captain Carter.
Yep.
She was cool.
She even fought and had a jetpack.
Hey, hell yeah, well, I love you. Um,
That's the next sponsor.
yeah. um, even Black Bolt showed up and I was like, he didn't even do anything, but it was like,
He
oh
looked
shit,
really
cool.
goofy to me. Like
He did look goofy, but it
he
was still kind of
bothered
cool to
me
see
so
him.
much how he looked.
I
I know there's some diehards for that character, but I never liked him.
I can see that. Um,
But it was really cool the way they showed his effect.
yes,
How
yeah.
he how he
And,
killed the other Strange. But
yeah.
and then of course the way he finished him off was just amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, what, Miles? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I heard people go, oh. That was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
I love all the Raimi touches though. Like
Oh,
the
camera
the angles,
angles, the touch.
yeah, the
Oh, yes.
angles, the little uh like when Strange ran into a piano, it made like a horror noise, like
Yeah.
ding, like a
Oh,
really sharp noise.
that was so cool. It was
Yeah.
like it felt like like an it felt like something that like Jason no, not Jason Eggers, the guy who wrote Shaun of the Dead and
Oh,
Baby Driver.
yeah. I know who
It,
you mean. I just can't remember his
yeah,
name.
it feels like something he would make or something like James Gunn would do, like because they love music. That was such like a music nerd thing. It was so cool.
It was
Like they're
such a
fighting with
like
notes.
unexpected, but it was pretty
It was
cool
so
though.
cool. Um,
Like throwing them like daggers and
yeah.
little explosion thing with the final note.
Yes, that was so cool.
We were in the Dolby theater, and
Oh,
man, there was some moments though that were like the freaking like the cup was rattling in the seat from the sound.
ooh,
They did some really cool stuff with it, like bass, a lot of bass stuff. It's pretty cool. There was a lot of
yeah.
good stuff
Oh
to
yeah,
like.
yeah.
There was a lot of goofiness for me. Like I don't know, like there were definitely a lot of parts where I was like, that's kind of stupid. Like I didn't like that. Like I don't
Please
know.
explain.
I'm trying to think of examples now. I thought the mid-credit scene was kind of stupid. Like, it annoys me when like a big actor shows up like
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah.
Like when that happens, I don't really like that. And then the effect where she cut open the portal and there's like blue, purple like blobs like floating around, like it just looked kind of crappy. And then she looked really simply like over the top with the super purple outfit and all that.
Oh, well,
To me, I didn't like that
sure.
scene. It was just kind of dumb to me. There was just goofiness, the part that I didn't really appreciate. Oh, and the third eye looked terrible. Like
Yeah.
it was a cool idea. It's just it looked like shit. It looked
Yeah.
really bad,
Yeah. Yeah.
really
I agree on
cheap.
that.
Like it just looked so like a high school project. Like some kids just learned how to like copy an eye and paste it on a
Hmm.
head. It just didn't look good. It's a great concept, but it's just I didn't like how they did it.
I I can agree with that. I'm a little biased because I am a big fan of Charlize Theron, but
Him too.
it was like I was like, yeah, that's a suit. I don't know. It looks
Yeah,
like yeah, that's
there's too
like
much.
too much. I don't know. And then like, and I guess I guess you pour up. It it looked like from the first Doctor Strange when he fought Dormammu, like that world.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're
And
right.
I was like, I don't really
Actually,
want to go back to that. Can we just not do that, please?
yeah.
That'd be
Can we
nice.
not go to like this dark
Yeah,
purple red piece of
yeah,
crap
yeah.
little fantasy world or whatever?
Can we not? Can we please no? No, I don't
But
want to.
like, why wasn't it enough that he was being attacked by that eye on his head? That was a great ending. Like I like that.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
If it looked nicer, what if they made like an amazing prosthetic that actually moves and like it's creepy and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
That would have been cool, but they didn't do that. They just were cheap and about it and made a crappy little eye thing.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. They're just yeah. Um.
There's cheapness in weird places to me. Like you're willing to spend so much money and effort to make that big squid thing look really good
Mhm.
for that giant fight. That was
Yeah.
actually really cool.
It was.
But then like every time we see this eye, it's like it looks like complete ass. I don't know. I that really bothered me so much. Probably more than it should. But it was so, I wanted that to be really cool, and it just looked like garbage.
I get that because like again like yeah like in concept it's a really cool way to end it. It's like oh shit that's creepy and weird, but it's like oh,
Yeah,
but it's like oh that's silly.
it's funny
So
how like how perfect a lot of this was for Amy. Like
yes.
the fact that there's a witch, and then oh the freaking demons that we're trying to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Strange, you know, the way they talk, kind of like
Yeah.
the Deadites, like they just talk a lot of crap and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
That was so cool.
It's crazy when you give a good director money and they make something good. Who knew? Who fucking knew? Um,
Oh,
yeah.
Pizza Papa was really funny. Oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah. You know what? As stupid as
It
that
was
very
so,
last scene was,
I didn't
like at the
take
very
that.
end, it was worth the wait.
It was worth. I heard he just kind of says, hold on,
Yeah,
I was
no
just
problem.
going nuts again.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna try to put it away. But yeah, I heard he just kind of says it's over or something, or what does he do?
so he so after 3 weeks after he stops hitting himself, he looks
Yeah,
at his fist. It's over, and it just cuts to black. It's like that's you know what that was fucking awesome because it's Bruce Campbell, and
yeah.
it's funny and it's cool because you can only keep doing these scenes to get you hyped after a while, and
Hmm.
they've been doing it for a couple episodes for movies now. We're
Yeah,
like
he's
hey, this
gonna
is
do
over,
that
get out,
something.
leave.
Yep.
uh,
They pulled a Ferris Bueller on
yeah.
us.
Which is funny that Deadpool actually did pull it on us. So it's funny. Um, so that was fun to watch. But
Yeah,
ag-
that was
again,
funny. Pizza
like
Papa.
I this is one of my favorite Marvel movies I think currently, and it's still fresh in my mind. So that could change. But
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. I love when we got little horror aspects in it. I
Hmm.
thought that was fantastic.
Oh, I love that
Um,
so much. Like when she's pursuing them and she's like really battered and like trying to go through the tunnels and stuff like that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
So
so
cool.
good. So great. Like I will say I don't I didn't like the beginning part of the wedding and the marriage and him. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see that. It feels like they don't have chemistry, and
They
to
don't.
me,
They
and
really don't.
it kind of like slows like, oh, you don't look like you guys care.
But
Like,
what's kind of interesting is like it's been so long for them.
mhm,
She kind of in the back of her mind knew it would never work with
yeah,
him anyway. It kind of works, but yeah, but it seems like I mean, there's like no chemistry in reality, so
yeah,
it's kind of like works both ways.
yeah. So, and again, like the stuff with Wanda was amazing. I loved it. I don't know if she is dead. I just say that because anyone can come back. Who knows? But
Yeah.
the downside, because again, I have a lot of positives about this movie, but the biggest downside is that again, it just feels like this multiverse stuff that they keep promising. It just felt like it had a nice little clean bow at the end, and I don't know. And I sound like a broken record because I am. I don't know what they're going. I don't know what's next. This
Mm.
like you killed off, potentially killed off a fantastic villain in Wanda. Um,
Yeah, but her thing was done though. I mean, it was
it,
a good conclusion.
it was done, but again, with multiverse stuff, you know,
Oh,
there's
okay.
there's another version of her, maybe, but like I kind of wanted to see her become even worse in a way, you know. And I know that's hard to say because the character could have been through a lot, but for her to have
Yeah.
like again, she could get a redemption arc later on in another movie or something.
Hmm.
But this one was like, oh, I'm just gonna destroy all the evil books and now I'm dead. Blah. I was like, I just wish that she would have gone out a hero instead of
Okay.
fixing her own problems because she was too hard headed to be like, hmm, maybe I shouldn't do this. This is bad. This is a bad thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. Again, like because I think she deserves better because she has been through a lot, and I think
Yeah, that's true.
because
But
again,
it's
like
more realistic that it doesn't happen that way.
yeah,
Uh,
because I mean, like even Loki got his happy ending. He dies, but I mean, like he died in Avenger, and then they fucked it up with a TV show. But you know, like like he may not have had his redemption long, but he had it, and I was kind of hoping she would have like that moment where like like she's on the
uh,
verge of I don't know. Again,
they're
like
getting into the comic stuff now too, because like you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I love what you said. Like where he died in Avenger, and it's like that's the ultimate what it should be for one of these
yeah,
heroes, and that's how they should go out, and they shouldn't come back, but they
yeah.
always do, and it's
They
like
always do.
cheapens the hell out of everything, and it's like it sucks.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean that was. I think it's really cool that we had an Avenger who turned evil, and it
Yeah.
actually was justified reasons, like a completely understandable reason,
Oh
and it
yeah.
all makes sense. I think they did a good job too of like exploring a little bit what like why can't you just be okay with your kids are happy in all of the other realities, like you're the only one who's not, but isn't that enough and blah 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 and he's like, no, it isn't, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like it's there's both sides to it, and I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
enough.
And the fact that emotions were amplified by the book was
Right.
really cool too.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you know what I mean. Because like yeah, she was in pain and grieving. Like she went from a town to I'm gonna destroy the multiverse and
Yeah.
and going from that again because just because it might be a nitpick or something, but it is another negative for me. When are people going to learn when a threat is a threat?
Oh yeah.
They're like,
They keep
like, he's
underestimating
like
her.
that witch. Huh, please, we can handle her.
The
She whooped your
Illuminati,
asses.
they really bothered me. Like they were like, I don't know, man. They
They were
just didn't seem
tryhards.
right. it was really cheesy. Like I was just like, this is too cheesy for me. Like I don't know, like the Illuminati, the group like that. I don't know.
I I can see that.
I found
I
it too cheesy. But I like when they started dying. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That was cool. I
Goodbye.
was like,
You're dead.
yeah. I mean, like, my Captain Carter had to die, but I was like,
Yeah.
that was she put up a decent fight. She was there to the bitter end.
I mean, she could do what she
Um,
could do. She's just a, she
yeah,
didn't have magic or power abilities like that.
yeah, and yeah, like when
But she did kind of fight stupid though, because like at one point she just literally they were staring at each other and she just throws the shield directly at
yeah,
her. I was like, dude, what?
yeah, yeah,
Bounce it around, do something, man. Come on.
yeah. The
Throw it
Illuminati
straight
was,
at her.
yeah. They like the more we're talking about it, yeah, they were kind of dumb.
Yeah.
They were real tryhards.
And then the way they had that chamber, like it was really pompous, like the way they had the chairs like that. It's like
Yeah,
whoever we bring in here, you're just a lowly little subject that we're gonna talk down to.
yeah.
And it's just yeah, I didn't really like all that. And it's just like yeah, it felt like a personal fuck you, like from Feige, like saying like, oh, you want this? No, like you like you can't have it. Like he's dead. He got ripped apart into shreds.
Yeah,
And who
but
knows if we'll ever see him or not. And
yeah,
just
who
shut up, you
knows?
stupid fan. Just shut up. I have a plan.
He's like, he's like,
Okay.
I am in the woods with the team right now on a retreat. I am trying. I am working on the next 10 years.
I told Raimi, put a scene in where he's there, but he gets ripped apart to shreds.
Yeah.
But he didn't look like he was there though. It looked like his head was recorded somewhere and pasted on.
Mm,
It didn't look right.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
true, but Nicole pointed it out. She was like, his face looks weird, and I was like, yeah, I think it's because he wasn't there. And she's like, what? And I was like,
Huh.
yeah, there's like there's sometimes like when Spider-Man like unmasks
Yeah.
or like Iron Man does it, and it's like that don't look right.
Right.
And I had
Yeah.
the same feeling.
No, 100%. Um,
But which I know it's so much to do and everything. I guess I could forgive it, but uh, yeah, I mean,
yeah. Like I said, the more we talk about it, I agree. The Illuminati were, I don't want to say wasted because they served the purpose what they
oh,
were there for, but yeah, it just fell off. There was just something about it. They just didn't. They just felt
yeah, there was something weird there.
it was weird. But
There was a lot
Charles,
to like. I mean, this
oh no,
was pretty
this movie is fantastic. There's a lot of great stuff in
wild,
this thing.
really wild, man. Like they're like
Yeah.
they got the freaking kitchen sink in there, man. Like everything is there.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like they didn't have to do that much with the squid in the beginning,
Right.
which I really enjoyed. I mean, they could have been like, they could have been cheap about it and been like, they showed her running away and just being scared and running and not really dealing with much. But no, they
Hmm.
did like a gigantic battle and everything.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But those big monsters, the ones that were at the Scarlet Witch Mountain,
The Cthulhu light figures.
those
Yeah.
were so lame. I mean, they didn't do anything, and then they just got destroyed so easily. And yeah, those are kind of lame. And then
True.
uh, what do you call it? I think Wong really annoyed me in this movie because
Really.
yeah, because the way he gave up like the secrets so easily, like I mean, like why did he do that? Like he doesn't. I guess he obviously does not see things the same way Doctor Strange does.
Hmm.
And I know he's a terrible person and everything, and he's a terrible person in every reality. But
Yeah.
he will not give up a secret like that for even for for five of his friends or whatever who are getting tortured or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah. No,
know,
I
like
get it.
it's like Wong, dude, you just gave up everything for that. Like
Well, I mean, yeah, it was stupid, but I actually like Wong in this because it shows that he fits better as a Supreme because he's more of a teacher and he's more
hmm
of a caregiver. Because the previous Supreme had her secrets and she was always kind of like, I'm better than
all
you.
right.
And Strange
More than
is,
you'll ever know. Blah blah blah.
yeah,
That kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So like so I get it because again, like he was a teacher, and it kind of plays into the fact he's like, these are my students. They're all dying because of us, and so like yeah, it was one of those things like you had to make a choice, and not the right one, but it moved the story along. So you gotta make people do stupid things sometimes. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
but I will say for the Illuminati,
Hmm.
even though Charles Xavier didn't have much to say or do, he did give a good line in there. He's still Professor Xavier. He probably did. It was like our past, or just because you stumble and fall, it like or like it was like your past doesn't define you and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, still teaching, still dropping wisdom, man. You're good.
Yeah,
Patrick Stewart, you're amazing. And then the way he dies is like was another really good scene. It
that
was
was
like
cool.
out of
Scary.
nowhere, like oh god,
Neck
uh,
snap, witch, fucking
yeah,
scary face.
that was so cool.
I was
Um,
like, whoa, how was I expecting that?
yeah, I
Cool.
just I just need Feige to come out and say these are episodic now, or we're working on the next big thing, but we're doing this in the meantime. We're kind of doing these one-off things, stories, stuff like
Mhm.
that, and they'll fix a lot of the issues that I have. Because again, after having something structured for 12 years,
Right.
because we talk about the 10, but it was actually 12 years, I think,
Yeah.
when by the time Endgame came out, like 12 years of knowing where you were going. You might have
Hmm.
changed a couple things here and there, or had a pivot, but you knew where you were going, and it
Yeah.
shows 100%.
When they trained us to be like that, and now they're like, they're not giving us
Whatever.
that. We're like,
Yeah,
what's going on then?
yeah, because when they acquired Fox, no, 20th Century, they got the X-Men back, and they don't plan that.
Yeah.
And Feige said, I don't plan touching them for at least 5 years, and we're on year 4, so we're close to that 5-year mark. We're
And I
getting
feel
very
like
close.
at every turn they get, they're just like, they'll put a big name actor that appears, and we're supposed to be impressed by that.
Right.
Like I hate when they do that. I just pisses me off because it's like that's so cheap. Like they're not doing anything though. You're just putting a face there, a popular face there, and
Yeah.
it's just like that's not enough. You have to do more than that.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I get that. Um, but this one, I think this movie is gonna be up there currently with like Shang Chi and
Hmm.
Thor 3 and stuff like that. Because not only all the good stuff we talked about, the directing, the effects, the horror stuff, like the
Hmm.
undead zombies and the demons, all
Yeah.
that stuff is fantastic. It looks great. Sam Raimi is a fucking genius.
Oh yeah.
Like the man made me want to be a director, and like fall, and because of him I fell in love with movies,
Oh
and
yeah.
this one just shows like why he is so good.
He's
I
awesome, man.
actually enjoy the character development of Strange, because
Yeah. There
because
was a
like
lot.
because even in here she's like, oh, all you Strange are the same. He's like, you're right, but this girl needs me, and I gotta do this for her, because usually everything he does is for himself in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. He's very
And
selfish.
also he likes to justify stuff and be like, well,
Yeah.
too bad because this is better for everyone else. So forget you.
Yes. Yeah.
You're worthless.
So
You
when
know.
he was like, I gotta do this for her because it's not fair for her to have to go through this and die.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, you know what? You are growing, you're changing, and that's really cool.
That was great. Yeah, I love
That
all that.
was
That
that
was
was
good.
cool. Again, like it's still doing stupid shit, but he's doing it for the right reason. I guess
Yeah.
is instead of like, let me blow up a city and well, I'm just saying like an example, like let me blow up a city and justify it. It's like no, there's a reason why he's doing it, and it's stupid, but he has
Yeah.
to save somebody, and that was
Yeah.
really cool. Um,
And it's like, yeah, doing things for different reasons, and
yeah,
just, yeah, there was definitely a lot of character change, character development there.
yeah, and then also we can even his growth from No Way Home to like now, where he was kind of cold to Peter because he doesn't know how
Yeah.
to
He
like
was a real
interact with
jerk.
kids. He's like, I don't know how to do this. And
Hmm.
then with the America, he was like, he gave that speech of like, oh, if you're anything like your mother's, they're or or if they're anything like you, they're a survivor, and you'll see him one day. She's like, good job. That was good. He's
Yeah.
like, thanks, I'm trying.
That was funny.
It was like,
That
okay,
was
he's
great.
growing. He's growing as
Yeah.
a character. He doesn't have to be a dick all the time.
He at least tried on that one.
Yeah. So like, you know
Yeah,
what? That's how you do it. It's those little moments
that was good.
that
Yeah.
make the character more than what he is because we only have like 2 hours to like tell a
Hmm.
story. So it's those little moments that work out so well.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that was great. I like that part. What I would say I was a little disappointed by the Book of Ashanti
mm,
because he got it and he used like one laser beam and that's it. It was like that's all. It was like completely useless. Like it did not help anything. I don't know. It was just kind of like I would at least I like how
well,
everything played out, but I wanted to
yeah.
see some of its abilities. Like just show me
Well,
something really cool with it.
yeah, I would like to say too, but like, cause the beam was, I think the beam was just him, cause like
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a mega beam from the
no,
book or something.
because the book got burned as soon as she hit it back to him because he didn't have time to read it.
Yeah,
So it was like, oh damn, like so
that sucked.
that's why
It
we
was
had to get the dark book for him to get his eye, and it's like okay, so it all works in story. But yeah, I kind of wanted to see what that book can do, but we won't now. So
yeah.
um,
Uh, but I do, yeah. I mean, I love everything they did with like Zombie Strange and
oh, that was great.
all the possession stuff. Like as soon as they were talking about Wanda gonna possess another version of herself, I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, that
And
was cool.
like all the cool stuff that was happening in the house,
Oh yeah,
like the little sounds and then like the shadows and then like the cup had like the ocean waves
yes,
and the picture frame where she gave that look and stuff like that. That was really
yeah,
cool.
and the
I thought it was
piano.
gonna be a little more violent.
I
I
love the
thought it was gonna
piano.
be like a really rough possession where she's like convulsing and then going nuts.
Mm. Right.
But
Yeah,
no, that's
we can only push it so far.
yeah, we can't go full Raimi.
Yeah. Oh, boy, that would be
You let
amazing.
him unleash right there. Oh man, you're gonna be rated R.
Yeah.
No, probably not, uh, but yeah, I mean the the Spider-Man 2 scene where Doc Ock first got his arms, that one was like Raimi was like, oh, okay, Raimi, calm the
Oh
fuck
yeah.
down.
Oh, whoa, 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 hey, we don't do that around here. Uh,
That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought there was gonna be like kind of a crazy scene with screaming and stuff. I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
they calm down, bro, calm down. We're
uh,
not doing all that. We'll let you do some of this other stuff.
yeah, right. Um,
But
and
yeah, that's cool.
we're kind of, I think we're kind of towards the end of talking because again, we can talk about certain scenes and in
Yeah.
depth more stuff, but overall, we did really enjoy it. I just want to bring up one last thing. I really like that simple concept of like the multiverse of like you dreaming of something is happening somewhere else, is someone else's like real life.
Yeah, that's
You know,
cool.
I was
That is
like, ooh, I don't know if that's based off an actual theory or not, but that was really cool, and I thought that was awesome. So,
And
so
that one strange at the end where he's like, "Yeah, did you ever have one where you were like falling the whole time?" He's like, "That was probably me."
yeah,
And Mark, I was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
yeah, and
That
it's
was
like,
like,
damn, that's such a cool concept.
the
And where
zombie.
she's and like I love that like line. It's when you stop and think about it, it's very existential. It's very like like nihilistic. It's like, oh my god, this world is terrible. Where she's like, oh, I'm the only one in the multiverse because I don't dream. I'm like, ugh, that's
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was creepy.
that's
Yeah,
fucked up.
she's like, "I'm the only. There's no other one out there.
Yeah,
I'm the only one. There's no copy."
yeah,
That was pretty interesting too.
that's
Uh,
very cool.
I love the line where where she's like, "Wait, but doesn't there have to be a living version of you there to possess?" He's like, "Yeah, but they don't gotta be alive." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my
Oh,
God."
that was another good scene right there where
The
like he
thunder,
actually came back to life.
yeah, he jumps out of the thing. I was like, "This is Army of Darkness, man. This is so
Yeah.
awesome."
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
happy. I was like, "Ah, that's so cool." And then he's doing like necromancer stuff, and
Yes.
then he gets those wings, and oh my God, that was so cool.
So cool. This man, I fucking love Sam Raimi.
And
Man,
that was a good example of doing practical because they could have done some cheesy bullshit with the zombie,
right.
but they did it, and that's how the eye should have been too.
Yeah.
Like it's so more impactful. Like if they had this disgusting like growth on his head,
Mhm.
you know, it looked real and it's like blinking and like pus is like oozing or something. Like it would have been so awesome.
Yeah.
But I just hated how they handled that. But that's okay, I guess. It was a good movie. It was
Oh
fun.
yeah. Fun, fun. Just I,
Immediately too. Immediately. Oh
7.5 is good.
yeah,
Yeah, like
7.5.
7.5 I think is fair. I can easily do 8, but there's just like there's a couple things, and then talking about the Illuminati stuff with you I was like, yeah, I don't think I can give it an 8 just because
Yeah.
for that chunk of scene. Even though it was cool to see certain people, it was like they felt useless. They had no they were just bums, and it just kind of like slowed it down a little bit with that.
Yeah, I agree. Um, the Mordo thing was kind of cool though.
Yes.
Like where he's just, yeah, there was a lot to that actually. It's kind of good.
Yeah.
When I left the theater though, I texted Manny and I kind of told him I was like, I want to like it more, and I can't kind of gave it 6.5 initially,
Yeah.
more that I've thought about it, and now we're talking. I think like maybe 7.5, but
I think it's fair.
yeah, I mean it's a little more than it was yesterday, but I think it was mainly because I wasn't expecting some of that, and then the goofy cheapness stuff really like brought it down for me like really badly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been like an 8 if it was a little bit better in some of those spots. But
Yeah, I think just a couple of changes, and this thing for me could easily be a 9. Oh, 100%. But for the things I don't like in it, it kind of sticks with me. So at 7.5, I think is good is a good score.
yeah, I mean, I knocked down like half a point just for the eye alone. Like, it bothered me so bad.
It wasn't good.
Yep. But no, it was great. I mean, I think they're already saying it's doing so well and blah blah blah. So I'm
I
sure
ho-
that.
I hope so because they did say Doctor Strange will return. So
Oh, okay, I didn't notice that.
yeah, I think I don't know when they said it, but yeah, it was on the
They
screen.
should have just put Pizza Pop all over it.
Yeah.
And then there was like an article about it was so funny. It's like it said every so often Sam Raimi will call Bruce Campbell and be like, "Hey, baby," and he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And he's like, "I got another movie for you." And then Bruce would be like, "Yeah, just sign me up, baby," or something like that. It's just funny.
That's funny. That's great.
Yeah, it's a cool friendship in Hollywood. I like it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And like they're like genuine friends, not like
Yeah,
business partners. Like they've been there since the beginning.
yeah, that's so cool. It is such a crazy story for Sam.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, dude. I I don't know if those opportunities are as easy anymore. Like when he did it like that, like where
Oh yeah, it's
I
hard.
mean, sure you have more access to good looking cameras and you have easier ability to do a lot of things, but I just think it's maybe even oversaturated.
Hmm.
Like the ability to be original like that is it's a lot harder, I think. And I don't know. It's just crazy. I think for him it was just like the way it happened. I don't know. And his movie, like Evil Dead, there's a ton of screaming. Like towards the last 30 minutes is like
Yeah.
pure. It's like 90% screaming, and it's kind of crazy that that took off for him. That even despite that, like it's not for everyone kind of thing.
Right.
And a lot of times that kind of goes into obscurity, where you're like, you did something like that, and it is appreciated, but only by a certain group, and
Right.
it doesn't launch you into what he's doing now, like or even what he did 10, 20 years ago when he had these TV shows that he was headlining and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's a good. I like his story. Everything. And there was actually moments that were reminding me of Drag Me to Hell,
Yes.
like when Strange's girlfriend grabs that canister thing and she's like, "Go to hell" or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the monsters away, and I was like,
That
"This
was
is so."
cool.
Yeah, I kind of like that version of her because she kind of knows. some stuff. Like she knew to grab that and how to activate it, and like
Right.
she knew like how to sew up the cape and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty
Because
cool to me.
yeah, because I mean, like if you think about it, like that sanctum in New York, probably any of them have a lot of artifacts in there that people were stuck in there. Oh, don't worry, we can fight off whatever we got. We just grab something and just start doing
Just
shit.
grab whatever. They all do something terrible.
Yeah, right.
But the more I think about it, like I hate the mid-credit scene so much. Like it doesn't make sense because why did he fall to his knees holding his head with the third eye, and then he's walking again like he's fine, and then this happens and it's like I don't know. It's like,
I
well, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but I think that was I'm assuming it was supposed to be like a different like fast forward a week or something and she
I
shows
guess.
up
Yeah.
because like the very end of the film he doesn't have a scarf on, but when
Okay.
she shows
Yeah.
up he has a scarf, so like I guess he's adjusted to the eye enough. But
Or it's
um
like slowly creeping on him or something.
yeah, and like that scene is purely there to set up the sequel or whatever movie he's going to be in next. So
Yeah.
I again, again, I'm biased because of Charlize Theron, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm okay with this. I guess I was expecting
Uh-huh.
something different, like more multiverse stuff, but this can work too. So
Yeah. I like the exploration of all his craziness. Like,
yes,
you know, the what is it called? The book of no, the horror hold or what is it?
I just call it the Darky book.
The dark hold. Yeah, there you go. The dark hold.
There you go, Darkhold. Yeah.
The Vishanti and all that, and pretty cool, pretty interesting stuff. Um, yeah. But yeah, man, had a fun time.
Yes,
Had a
it
fun
was.
time.
It was nice to have fun in a Marvel movie again since Shang-Chi,
Yeah,
because like,
there you go.
because again, I'm just like those two movies had a lot of fun. They were great.
Well, it's kind of funny. Yeah, you're right. Because like all the shows have been disappointing us.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I had a great time in that one, and this one I had a great time too.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like less is more because I mean, how
Yeah.
many freaking shows have we had since the last movie? Like five?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Shitload of shows, and it's like five decent shows, and some of them sucked, and some of them were disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
It does, it waters it down a little bit.
Hundred
Like,
percent.
you know, because we used to go what like I mean there would be times where we would get a big movie like in March and nothing till like November.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. No Disney Plus show, nothing.
Nothing.
You just sit your ass down and wait until November.
Yeah.
And in a way it's better that way, I don't know, because they haven't blown me away yet, the shows.
Right. Oh,
And I'm
yep.
sure the budget's out of control for those shows and it's hard for them to do it. And it's like, well, why don't you just tone it down a little bit? Like
Yeah.
does it have to be? Does everything have to be 8 episodes? Does everything have to be giant spectacles and all this craziness? Like, why can't you just like I don't know, like just give us a little bit and it's meaningful. Like if it's important for Sam and Bucky to become friends, why can't we get that like a little more compact? And it doesn't have to be a freaking 8 episodes or whatever it was.
Right.
I don't know. They just gotta kind of rethink it a little bit.
Yeah. And we got we got one more chance at this multiverse shit. We got one more chance. We got Ant-Man and the what was it? The I want to say quantum madness, but or quantum some
Quantumania.
quantum mania. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we saw Kang and the reflection of Ant-Man's helmet in that production shirt. So, hopefully Kang actually shows up and does something instead of just being stuck on the Loki show, because that actor deserves better than that.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and I want to know what's going to happen if they're going to make smaller teams and do that.
Right.
That is great with me. I want that. Just tell
Oh,
me
you
what
could.
we're doing. That's all.
See, that's kind of cool because you could have certain, like, if you don't want to do all this multiverse crap, you could have like street level people,
Yeah.
and then you could have supernatural people like Blade, or like you could have, whatever Spider-Man is doing, or you could have whatever the X-Men are doing.
Yeah. Again, we have we don't know if they're the Dark Avengers or the Young Avengers or
Yeah.
the Thunderbolts with U.S. agents and Baby Widow and all them. Like they're building something. So
Yep.
it's like again, if we're gonna do that, just tell me. I just want to know why am I watching all this for?
Uh, I think they're telling you, but not in a compelling way.
And yeah, and that's the problem. Like when you show me Thanos in
Avengers
the
1, right?
in
Or no?
Avengers 1, I go, I know where we're going, and I had to watch everything because I want to get there.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like, this was fine. This is shit. That was okay. That was fun.
That was
What's next?
disappointing, and it's like, yeah,
No,
it's
because
hard
again,
to enjoy the pieces because you're worried about putting it all together, and it's like,
yes,
you know,
because I know there's a bigger picture. It was easier to put the puzzle together in
sure.
the phase 1, 2, and 3. This is like 4 different puzzles trying to make one. I'm like, I don't. What are we doing? Uh,
Yeah,
so
because it's a little too much. It's like, well,
yeah,
we're building Thunderbolts and this and that. Oh, and by the way, this. I don't know.
yeah. So
Oh well, but there's good moments still. So it's gonna be probably, like, I keep going back to it, but like the comics for me, like,
mhm.
right when I gave up, I just cherry picked
Yeah.
the real stuff. Like I would try out everything, like maybe just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or whatever
Mhm.
caught my eye, or a writer or something like that, or word of mouth, and then something really great would be there. But then it's like all these events, all the event comics, and like the death of Wolverine, and it's like, oh, just shut up, just get out of here, like go away, stop being stupid.
Yeah.
I don't want it to get like that, and it's like
Right.
sometimes it feels that way when we get disappointed by the shows. But then this happens, and it's like, wow, that was fun. That's what I want.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
So we'll we'll definitely be having this conversation many more times in the near future whenever a new project comes out. Um, I love
or
talking about this stuff. It's really fun. Um,
yeah,
but we've been at it for about 2 hours, 12 minutes, and I think you guys might be tired of us bitching and complaining. um,
yeah. I hate to
with
do it, but we're just
yes,
not, and we
yeah,
are enjoying it, but it's just not to the fullest.
yeah. So I think we'll cut it off there and call this episode, guys. If you stuck around for the whole time, listen to all the spoilers. Let us know what you thought about Doctor Strange. Go to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Like I said, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any podcast app of your choice. Just type in 3 News on a Sunday straight, and there we are. Like us, rate us, subscribe, whatever you want. You want to tell us we're shitheads, do that. If you want to tell us that you're big fans, we appreciate it either way. Just tell us what you're thinking. And with that being said, we will catch you next time for the next episode. Obi-Wan starting up soon, so we'll be talking about that. So thank you guys. See you later. Bye.
See ya.